Let's begin by lying on your mat. Comfortable position lying on your mat. Legs out, knees bent. Lying on your side if that's more comfortable for you. Finding a nice comfortable position. And then just begin to focus on your breath, conscious of your breathing, that inhale and exhale. You can count the breath if that's helpful to focus on the breath. Counting the inhale, counting the exhale. You can match the inhale with the exhale. Hear yourself breathe with Ujjayi breathing. And something you could add is to hold the breath after that inhale. Hold the breath for as long as you'd like, and then exhale. And you can try, I call it a 3-part breath. You're going to inhale for the count of 3. Hold the breath for a count of 3. And then exhale for a count of 6. And if you're having any tension today, think about letting go of that tension with that exhale. Just let it go. Let go of that tension. Just release it. Let it exit your body with that exhale. And remember, throughout your practice today, let go of any expectations. Let go of any judgment, competition. Just how you're feeling today, listening to your body. Always do what feels good for you. Make modifications if you need to. Don't do something if it doesn't feel right. And we like to inhale and exhale through the nose if that's possible today. If not, breathe through the mouth. So continuing to focus on your breath, just on your next inhale, or whenever you're ready, just slowly bring your knees to your chest. You could hold on to the knees with the hands or not. Totally up to you, whatever feels good for you. And then whenever you're ready, maybe a little rock side to side if this feels good for you. Again, continuing to focus on the breath. Don't forget about that breath. Little rock side to side. You can rock that whole body side to side, rocking more and more to the side as you go. Rocking side to side, your whole body, your shoulder and back, part of your back might come up off the mats. You can rock more and more to the side. Or another way is to keep your back flat on the mat, just let your knees go side to side. A little rotation of the waist. Either one works. You can try a little bit of both if you'd like. Again, just continuing to focus on the breath. Bringing those knees back to center. Again, holding on to the knees or not. And let's just begin to make little circles with the knees in one direction. If you prefer the rock side to side, you want some more of that, feel free to do that. Or I like to just do little circles with the knees, just starting with small circles. And then as I go, I just gradually make bigger and bigger circles with those knees. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and reverse direction. So just circle those knees in the other direction. And go back to small circles to begin with. And then just, as you go, gradually make bigger and bigger circles with those knees. Let's just go ahead and bring those knees back to chest. Let's go ahead and grab underneath our knees. Just to pull those knees in a bit more to the chest here. And then bringing the head up if that feels good for you. Leave it on the mat if that feels better. I like to just bring my chin to my chest here. And then I just kind of rock my head side to side just to warm up my neck a little bit here. You can always do that on the mat as well if that feels better for you. Just a little rock side to side. Good, let's go ahead and release the head back to the mat. Release the knees, feet to the floor with your knees bent. Let's put those hands by your sides, palms down. And we're going to do our first bridge pose here. So let's just push the low back flat to the mat. Push that low back flat to the mat, tilts the pelvis, and then lift those hips, bridge pose. So our first bridge pose, we're not too concerned how high those hips are. Whatever's comfortable for you. Just make sure your feet are straight ahead, knees straight ahead. Feet underneath the knees. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Good, just slowly on your next exhale, whenever you're ready, just lower those hips back down, but roll the back down, one vertebrae at a time. Upper back, mid back, low back, hips back down to the mat. Let's go ahead and bring those knees to the chest again. Again, head up too if you want, it's up to you. Again, if you want to rock the head side to side just to warm up your neck a little bit here, you can do something like that. Good. Let's
go ahead and release those knees, release the head back to the mat here. Hands by your sides, palms down. Push the low back flat. Let's lift those hips, bridge pose. This time, let's see, can we lift up those hips a little bit higher? And then let's focus on lifting the chest, lift the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. That can help you open up the chest and shoulders. And then with that, some people like to clasp their hands underneath their hips if you'd like to do something like that. I like to bend my elbows and push with the backs of my arms into the mat. Helps me lift my hips up a little higher. Again, don't forget about lifting the heart. Lift the chest. You can think about squeezing the glutes too while you're in bridge here. And then something you can add. Again, as the semester goes on, I like to show you more things you can add. You could lift your heels now in bridge pose. So lifting those heels could be another option in bridge pose. Totally up to you if you want to try something like that. And let's just go ahead and flow with our breath now. So on your next exhale, we're going to lower those hips, rolling the back down. Bring the heels down to the mat if you had them up. Inhale the knees to chest. Bring the head up too if you want. Totally up to you. Good. We're going to exhale, release the knees and head to the mat. Inhale, push the low back flat first. Lift the hips, bridge pose. Again, you can lift those heels if you want. Lift the chest, lift the heart. You squeeze those glutes. Exhale, lower those hips back down. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, release the knees and head. And inhale the hips back up into bridge pose. And then we're just going to flow with our breath here. Exhaling the hips down. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, release the knees and head. And inhale those hips back up into bridge pose. And I'll let you just go ahead and continue with your own breath here. You can always hold the pose for longer if you want. Maybe you want to hold bridge and then just work on lifting those heels a few times. You can do something like that if you want. And let's go ahead, just the next time you come up into a bridge pose, hold it there. And trying to lift up the hips a bit higher, lift the heart, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back. Again, if you want to clasp your hands underneath you, you can. And the elbows. Maybe you want to help your hips with your hands a little bit, pushing up with those hands, the hips. Lift those heels. Lifting the heels is going to involve your calves. If you haven't felt it there, it's probably where you're going to feel it when you lift those heels. So if you want to involve the calves now, you can do something like that. And then we're going to just involve the arms here in a little bit of movement here. So on your next exhale, I'm going to lower my hips back down, heels come back down, my arms come up overhead. Then I'm going to inhale, the hips come back up, arms back to my sides. You can lift those heels too if you want. Exhale, hips come back down, arms up overhead. Inhale, hips come back up, arms back to your sides. And we're just flowing with our breath. Exhaling down those hips, arms up overhead. Inhaling, hips come back up, arms back to your sides. But it doesn't really matter when you're inhaling, exhaling, when the hips are coming up or down, when the arms are coming up overhead. Whatever feels good for you, just move with your breath. Maybe you just want to do your arms. You could just do something like that. Maybe you just want to do your hips. You could do something like that. Or again, maybe you want to just focus on lifting the calves. You could always do something like that. And let's go ahead, whenever you bring those hips back down from bridge pose, let's just go ahead and bring your knees to your chest here. Again, bringing the head up if you'd like. Chin to your chest, taking a few deep breaths here. And then we're going to get into our core exercises. So leaving those knees up, feet up here. Let's go ahead, hands behind the ears, and we'll go right into crunching up into a ball. Try to bring your hips up, your head together, crunching up into a ball. Exhale up, inhale back down. Just moving with your own breath. Exhale up, inhale back down. Again, I like to show you more things as we go through the semester, so if you want to add more to this one, you can extend your legs out, and then bend your knees, and then lift your hips, curl up into a ball, crunch up into a ball. You can put your arms up overhead, and then crunch up into a ball. Or put your arms out, legs out, keep them up off the floor or off the mat here, and then bring your feet and hands together. Don't let them touch if you can, and then come back up again. Again, a bit more challenging, try it if you'd like. Again, just like to add more things as we go through the semester. As that core is getting stronger and stronger throughout the semester, we want to add more and more if you can, or if you'd like, or if you're feeling it today, you can try something like that. Again, rest on your mat at any time, just feet on the mat, knees bent, maybe a head back. Rest on your mat at any time. Or let's go ahead and focus on your lower abs, keeping the knees and feet up, the hands by your sides, sit on the hands if it's good for your low back, and you're going to lift your hips up off the mat. Exhale up, inhale back down. Exhale up, inhale back down. Now if you push a lot with your hands by your sides, you can put them on top of your head. That way you don't use your hands. But try not to swing, right? We're not swinging. We're not swinging. Going with our breath. Exhale up. Just try to lift those hips up using your abdominal muscles to lift your hips up off the mat. Exhale up, inhale back down. And if you want to try more, you could extend your legs all the way out. Bend the knees, and then lift those hips again. Try not to swing. Just going with our breath here. Again, with core exercise, it's not about how many, the quantity. It's about the quality, how well you do them. That's why going with your breath can help. Maybe try a leg raise. Maybe you want to do a leg raise, bring those legs up, even lift those hips at the end. Again, if that's something you want to try, you can try something like that. Again, rest whenever you want. Pause the video and do more if you want. It's up to you. I'm going to go into a bit of a twist now. So we're going to bring our opposite elbow to opposite knee here. Exhaling up, and twisting. Inhale back down. Exhale up the other side and inhale back down. Now if you want, you can kick that other leg out. Both feet are off the floor at the same time. Again, still go with your breath. Some people start to speed up when they do this one. Now, if you want to add more to this one, keep your legs straight. I call it scissor the legs. Doing the same thing, scissor the legs. And then maybe you want to reach up with a hand and do something like that. Again, a bit more challenging. Try it if you like. Rest if you need to. And then here we'll try to emphasize the upper abs with just a crunch here. So knees bent to start. Arms can go across the chest. Hands behind the ears just to support the head. And we're going to exhale up, lifting the head, shoulders, torso. Push the low back flat to the mat as you come up. Feel those abdominal muscles contract. Going back down. Exhale up. Inhale back down. See if you can keep the head and shoulders off the mat the entire time. So try not to go all the way back. So you can keep your head and shoulders off the mat the entire time. And then exhaling back up. Maybe pause, feel those abdominal muscles contract before you go back down. Or if you want to add more, you could put your feet up in the air. Try that. Exhale up, inhale back down. Some people like to put their hands up in the air, kind of reaching the hands towards those feet if you want, or maybe hands straight out. So maybe tuck the chin in towards the chest so you don't feel it in your neck, or hands behind the ears to support the head. And again, I'd like to show you more things as we go through the semester. So we're going to take something from a Pilates class. A lot of times they combine yoga with Pilates. So I've taken this from a Pilates class. I call this the Pilates pump. So what you do, you can do it on this one. You can come up as high as you can, hold it there, and then you do some little ones. So you do the little ones. I call it the little Pilates pump here. Try a few of those. Rest if you need to. I like to go back through the full range of motion after doing a few of the Pilates pump. You can do that. Again, with your feet straight up in the air. Come up as high as you can. Little ones if you like. Pilates pump, I call it. So you can add this to a few of the core exercises. It's a good one for crunches. Resting whenever you'd like. And then just give you a chance to do any kind of core exercise you like to do. Go back to maybe the twist if you want. Crunching up into a ball is a good one. Or if there's a core exercise you like, feel free to do it. Just go with your own breath. Give you a moment to do anything you'd like here to get a little bit more core here. Or simply just lay back on your mat and take a breath or two. And then whenever you feel like you had enough, go up into bridge pose. Again, if you want to help those hips with the hands, you want a good stretch in those abdominal muscles. Now something you could try here is wheel. I showed it in the other video with the line warm up here as wheel pose. I'm not sure if I'm going to try it today. I tried it last time. I kind of felt it in my low back the next day here. So I'll demonstrate, or I'll talk you through it if you want to try it. What you're going to do is take your hands, you put them by your shoulders. Your fingertips are going to point towards your shoulders. And then you're going to push. You push with your hands and pushing your hips up in the air. Don't put your head on the mat though. Get that head up off the mat. You're going to push. It's a bit of a low back extension. So if you got that low back flexibility, you could try wheel pose. I'm going to stick with bridge. The wheel pose would be a great stretch for those abdominal muscles. But while we're in bridge here, let's show a one-legged bridge. Again, something you can add to bridge. Basically, you just take one leg off the mat, one-legged bridge, put that leg straight up, or maybe you want to cross the ankle kind of above that knee on the thigh of the other leg. You can put it there. Hold this. We can move with our breath. Exhale down, inhale back up. So you can move with your breath. Try that for a few times. You can inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Maybe you want to hold it. When I talked about that Pilates pump, you could add that. So hold it and then do little ones. You can do little ones. Again, leg cross, leg straight up. Try some little ones. Then I recommend full range of motion. After doing a few little ones, try the full range of motion. And if you really want to challenge yourself today, you could try lifting the heel too as well as you do one-legged bridge. And whenever you get tired with that leg, you try the other leg. Again, leg straight up in the air, cross the leg. Hold it. Move with the breath. Exhale down, inhale back up. Try that Pilates pump if you want. Try little ones, come up as high as you can. Hold it. Little ones, Pilates pump. For a few, go through that full range of motion. And then if you want to try the lift of the heel, you can try something like that. Whenever you had enough of one-legged bridge, just go ahead and bring those knees to the chest, stretch out those glutes and hamstrings. It's probably where you felt that. One-legged bridge and those glutes and hamstrings. Lifted the heel in your calf as well. Good, from there, let's just go ahead and reach up over our heads. Legs straight out, really reach, reach, reach. Just kind of big stretch here. Full body stretch. Taking a deep breath or two here. And then just go ahead and roll over onto your stomach on your mat. Come up onto your forearms. Elbow underneath the shoulders. Forearms on the mat. And then we're going to try a dolphin plank. Another good core exercise, an isometric contraction of those abdominal muscles here of the core. So you're going to come up onto the balls of your feet here. Try to keep a nice straight flat back. Try not to sag. Try not to have the butt up in the air. See if you can be nice and straight. Dolphin plank, this is called dolphin plank. You can hold this for as long as you can. You can always drop to your knees, right? Drop to the knees if you need to. You can do that. Rest on your mat all the way down if you need to. Or here, try this. This is called dolphin. It's like downward facing dog, but you're gonna push with your forearms, push with the forearms. Then you bring your feet in a little bit. So I'm doing somewhat like down dog, but from the forearm. So this is called dolphin. So go up into dolphin, rest on your mat, and then try it again. Do the plank again, dolphin plank. Again, if you need to go to your knees, go to your knees. Go up to dolphin if you need to rest. I'll let you do it on your own here. Do it on your own for as long as you like. Dolphin plank. So dolphin plank, a little easier on your wrist than regular plank. Regular plank will be all the way up, right? You could always do that if you want from your hands. You could always do that. Some people actually go back and forth. If you want a movement with the plank, you could do something like that. Or just hold either one. Again, rest whenever you'd like. Going up into dolphin. And back down. Again, dolphin plank, this is called. Try not to sag the back at all. Again, feel free to hold that for as long as you'd like. Pause the video. Because I'm going to go show you a side plank here. So just go ahead all the way down to your mat, turn to the side. I'm turning to my right side, doesn't matter, we're going to do both sides. So what you'd like to do is your elbow right underneath your shoulder. If you need more padding, you can always double your mat over, fold the mat over if you need it. So elbow underneath my shoulder, my legs are straight out. I'm going to stack my feet, but you can also stagger the feet if you want. Other things you can do is you can bend your knees and go from your knees so you can lift. Make sure you're nice in a straight line from your knees, side plank, or stack or stagger the feet. And you're going to lift those hips. And it can be helpful to lift that opposite arm too, just for balance. So we're trying to stack our shoulders, stack the shoulders, stack the hips. So you're not facing forward, you're not facing back. You're trying to stack the shoulders, stack the hips, and hold it. Drop to the knees if you need to. So this one is a little bit easier on the wrist than the full side plank. Feel free to do that if you want. That would be from the hand, right? Full side plank. This just shows you a little bit easier from the forearm. Again, go to your knees if you need to. You can hold this for as long as you'd like. Coming back down, feel free to go for longer if you want. And then we'll switch over to the other side. You can roll over, do the other side. I'm going to switch over to the other side here. So again, that elbow underneath my shoulder. Again, if you need some more padding, you can fold the mat over if you need it. Legs straight out, stack the feet, stagger the feet. Maybe you want to bend the knees and stack the knees and do it that way. And lift those hips. And make sure you stack your shoulders, stack your hips. You're in a nice straight line. Arms up in the, opposite arm up in the air just to help for balance. Make sure you breathe. Again, hold for as long as you like. If you need to, drop to the knees, drop to the knees. Drop down those hips if you need to rest at all. Again, if you want a full side plank from the hand, just a little harder on the wrist, right? Just showing you an alternative from doing it from your forearm. Holding that for as long as you'd like. Whenever you had enough, just come all the way down to your mat. Go ahead and roll over onto your stomach on your mat. Putting that forehead on the mat or turn your head to the side, whatever's comfortable, taking a breath or two here. Let's go ahead and put your hands or arms by your sides, palms up or palms facing down, even turning those palms inward towards you if you want. Good. Whenever you're ready, we're just going to lift the torso, lift the head, shoulders, torso. Arms come up off the mat, and if you can lift the legs too as well. You don't have to though, you can just lift your upper body. Or if you can, lift the legs, point the toes, and hold. Make sure you breathe, don't hold your breath. Again, this is called locust pose, L-O-C-U-S-T, locust pose. Think about squeezing the glutes too as well. Arms can come out to the sides, out in front. If you want to feel it in the shoulders. Even maybe hands here too as well. Whatever works for you. And we can hold this for as long as you'd like, or we can also move with our breath. So we exhale down, inhale back up. Exhale down, inhale back up. Exhale down, inhale back up. So move with your breath, hold it, rest on your mat at any time. Just go all the way down to your mat, take a breath or two, and then you can try a bit more. Okay, let's just try to hold it one more time. So wherever you are, just come up and hold, breathe, wherever you want your arms. And let's exhale back down and go ahead and push back, child's pose. Again, child's pose, you can widen the knees if you'd like. Feet, tops of the feet on the mat, or curl the toes under if that feels better for you. Bringing the forehead to the mat if you can, or maybe stacking the hands, stack the fists if that's more comfortable for you. Hands out for extended child's pose if you'd like. Good, then we'll just go ahead and come out of child's pose onto our hands and knees. So making sure your knees underneath your hips, right? The hands are underneath the shoulders. You can always go to your fists if that's more comfortable, or the wrists if you want. And then cat and cow. So whenever you're ready, just cat cow. Big exhale, pushing the back up. Big exhale, chin to your chest. Big exhale, think of pulling up the belly button in towards the spine. Big exhale, inhaling, swaying the back. Cow pose. And then just going back and forth with your own breath. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Good. Moving with your breath. Hold the pose though if you want. A hold cat, hold cow. I like to move my hips to the side. You can always do something like that. Move the head around too if you want. Whatever feels good for you. Cat, cow. Great one to loosen up the low back. Again, continue with cat-cow. Go back into child's pose if you need to rest at any time. Or I'm going to move on to spinal balance. So just a neutral spine here, and then my opposite arm and leg coming up. Really reaching up and out the arm, right? Reaching up and back with that leg. Here, pointing the toe or pointing your heel, palm down, palm turned in, looking up at the hand, look down at the mat, whatever works for you. Good, we'll try the other side. Again, opposite arm and leg. So we can hold this, or if you want to move with your breath, exhale down and then inhale up the other side. Exhale down, inhale up the other side. Again, hold or go with your breath. Go back to cat-cow if you know what, I like that better. Go ahead, keep going to cat-cow. Or maybe one side at a time. So I'm going to bring I got my left arm, right leg up, and I'm just going to do that and bring my elbow towards my knee, round the back, and then lift. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm just going to do my leg. I'm just going to bring my other hand down, and I'm just going to bring my chin towards my knee, round the back, and then lift. I'm just doing one leg at a time. My right leg right now, whichever leg though you want. Keeping that knee bent. And then there's several things you can do here. Maybe I want to extend my leg and lift. Right, and I talked about the Pilates pump. Lift, little ones, right? You can do some little ones. Pilates pump. Legs straight, knee bent, little ones. Again, doing a few Pilates pump if you want, and then full range of motion. Again, some other things you can do, keep the legs extended, bring it to the opposite side, and then back up. You could do the knee, or maybe just stay there, do this for a few. Or all the way through. Or maybe keeping that knee bent, knee out to the side. Again, taking this from a Pilates class too as well. Fire hydrant, dog leg, whatever you want to call this one. You can even bring that knee out and just little circles with the knee, so rotating the hip around, something like that. Maybe bringing it around the other side, the other way, rotating around the other way. Many things you can do here. Do whatever feels good for you, whatever you'd like. Good, then we'll try the other side. So I'm just gonna, one side here. Now I got my right arm, left leg. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up, exhale. And then I'm just gonna bring my arm in and just focus on the hips here, keeping my knee bent. Go with your own breath. Again, if you want to extend the leg and lift. Again, many things you can do here. And then that Pilates pump, right? Little ones. Maybe you want to do some little ones. Knee bent little ones. Again, I like to go through that full range of motion after I do some of that Pilates pump. And you can bring it to the opposite side and back. Tap. Do that for a few, or maybe you want to go through the whole cycle. Feel free to pause the video and do more of this if you want. And then I got that dog leg. Fire hydrant, whatever you like to call it. Maybe rotating the hip around. The other way. And then of course back, child's pose. Anytime you feel like you've had enough, child's pose. But if you want more, feel free. Pause the video, do some more of that if you'd like. Totally up to you. This time in child's pose, we're gonna move on to some upper body planks and chaturanga and things. So let's just go ahead and stretch out the shoulders. So putting one arm through, forehead on the mat, or turn the head to the same side, that arm going through. Rotate the wrist around just to warm up the wrist a bit. Good, let's go ahead, other side. Good, both hands out in front of you, extended child's pose. Spread the fingers nice and wide here, and then we'll just go from child's pose to a kneeling plank here. So we're just gonna warm up that upper body here, kneeling plank, making sure the hands are underneath those shoulders here. If you need to go to your fist a little more comfortable on the wrist, you can always do something like that. Good, we're gonna lower ourselves down, keep those elbows in, right? Engage the core, right? Don't sag the back. Hover and hold it there. Chaturanga, a kneeling chaturanga. Good, lower yourself all the way down, lifting that torso. Low cobra or high cobra, your choice. And then back, child's pose. Good, inhale, plank, kneeling plank, kneeling chaturanga. Good, up to cobra, lower high, back, child's pose. Good, inhale, plank, down to chaturanga. Good, up to cobra, and back, child's pose. And just flowing with your own breath here. Okay, this is part of the sun salutation. Hopefully you're familiar with this. Feel free to go chaturanga, right? Back to plank. Maybe you want to work a little upper body strength. Feel free to do as many as you'd like here. Feel free to pause the video, do more of these if you want. Back to child's pose if you need to rest. Stretch out the shoulders some more if you want. Roll the wrists around. Good. Something else you could do to get a little more stretch on the shoulder here is you lift your hips. Lift your hips so they're above your knees. And puts a little more maybe pressure on that shoulder. Gauge how much forward you want to go. So you can do something like that. And roll the wrists around. Try the other side. Good, putting both hands out in front of you. Again, really spread those fingers nice and wide. Starfish hands, right? Push with those hands, because now we're gonna push ourselves up, downward facing dog. So curl the toes under, push back with those hands, pushing the weight of your hips back towards your feet. Keep those heels up, bend the knees. Pushing that butt up in the air here, back flat and straight. Your head comes between your upper arms. Good, down dog here, downward facing dog. You can begin to bicycle the feet, pedal the feet if you'd like, to warm up those calves. Just alternating, extending the leg and straightening the leg, putting that heel towards the mat. Lift that heel, bend the knee, extend the other leg, push that heel. You can alternate, you can push both heels, lift both heels. You can do both at the same time if you want. Either one works, whatever works for you. Good, let's push both heels to the mat. Good, then we'll just go to a full plank. Again, drop to the knees though if you need to go back to the knees. Good, to a chaturanga, full, try to hover and hold it. Go to the knees if you need to. And then cobra, or now it's up dog. Tops of the feet, or if you want, balls of your feet, whichever one works. I engage my core, so I don't have a big back bend, because I engage my core on up dog. If not, it bothers my low back. And then back to down dog. And then just going through that little vinyasa here, plank, chaturanga, up dog, and back to down dog. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, and back to down dog. Now you can simply go plank, push back to down dog, maybe plank, push back to down dog, plank, push back to down dog. Maybe you want to just lift the leg, one-legged down dog. Maybe just do some leg lifts here in down dog. Or keep that leg up, go to plank, bend that knee in between the arms in plank, go back to a one-legged down dog. Good, do that again, but now bring the knee to the same elbow, and then back to a one-legged down dog. Try the opposite, knee to the opposite elbow, so you kind of rotate, and then back. And then try the other side. Again, knee between the arms, bend the knee between the arms, knee to the same elbow, knee to the opposite elbow. Could do more of that if you'd like. More leg lifts. Maybe you want to come plank. Maybe you want to try a little upper body strength. So maybe it's a chaturanga back to plank, going down as far as you can to get back up, wherever you can, and push back up. Maybe go back to down dog to rest. Again, a little bit of upper body strength, doing as many as you'd like there. Go back to down dog. Really want to challenge here. What you can do is keep that leg up, go to plank, go chaturanga, back to plank, back to a one-legged down dog. But you do what you'd like, whatever you can to work on. Do whatever feels good for you. Feel free. Pause the video if you want to do more of anything. Go to child's pose anytime you need to rest. Whatever you'd like to work on, feel free. I'm going to stop the video now. So have fun with it. Enjoy.